Yo. Yo. I woke up this morning and my stream was down, but when I put it back up, when I got it back up and everything was running normally, I noticed this band of clouds above downtown on TSU Sterling Student Life webcam. And first I thought it was just very dark storm clouds, so I went outside this morning with a cup of coffee and checked out what was going on, and I thought they were dark storm clouds. Something seemed unusual. That's one of the reasons why I was looking at it. But as I looked on Twitter, Deer Park is still trending because there is a fire actively occurring in Deer Park, and it's a fire that you could see on the stream yesterday and that GloomTube put up, and I streamed some of that. And so here's the live stream as it's going, and you can see this east side Houston skyline view webcam that I have on here is currently watching from afar the active fire, and it's been going on. You could see it even last night up until it got too dark. And these are definitely you can see. So I'll go outside with this and show you. So here you can see, there I am on the stream, and go right here. TSU. It's looking right over this house. That looks right over this house, is about right there. And I even noticed on Devin the Dude's most recent album that has Acoustic Levitation by Devin the Dude, who's from Houston here, I believe. And you can see that they're looking over, but it almost is the same view. This is from near U of H, and somewhere around here. Somewhere around this area. I mean, it's hovering right over. So that's actually kind of the area we're gonna go see, and I just wanted to show this. So 16 new tweets here. It says 16 new tweets. Let's click these. Let's go to the tweets. What are the tweets? So I've been sharing about the chemical fire. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Hashtag Hugh News, Deer Park Fire, clean air. 94.5 The Buzz. This time lapse was taken from our office in the Galleria. You can see the black smoke traveling in the clouds, which is what I was saying. The clouds this morning were, I was just impressed, and now impressed by how dark they were, and now it's understandable as to why they were that dark. Here's from West Houston. I mean, that's over downtown, uptown to the energy corridor. Here's downtown. So you can see, here's this webcam. I believe this is set up on Houston House or somewhere downtown. And I'd like more webcams like this, preferably in higher quality, though sometimes the lower quality makes it artistic-esque because it looks more cartoony. Here's maybe a view of where that might be, or similar. But you can see, I mean, you can see it over Toyota Center and Hilton. There. The Avenida de las Americanas, or Americas, or no, the George R. Brown. You can see it over the Convention Center in Discovery Green and Avenida. And Houston Public Media, shelter in place order previously issued for residents of Deer Park has been lifted, even as a fire at a petrochemical facility has spread, including 8 tanks. You can see over, this looks like from like Washington area, and you can see, I think my mom got her car from somewhere around here. You can see it over here. I mean, it's, and you can see these are the clouds, so I'll show you those clouds. We're gonna go outside right now, and I just wanted to look over a little more. Here's from Greenway Plaza, and this is from the Med Center, I believe. And you can see it on the GOES 16 radar. I mean, GOES East shortwave infrared imagery. You can see it on the GOES 18. GOES, you can see it on the GOES. You can see it on the radar. This thing, though maybe not this specific set, you can see it on so this is what I started off with. As well, I noticed there's a shooting in Utrecht, in some Dutch city in the Netherlands, where I'm being attacked by this Stephanie Joosten, who's a fake woman, seemingly being put together by ING and banks because I'm doing crypto stuff. Here is March 16th, and 6 hours ago. March 16th, it said at least 42 dead in floods in Indonesia's Papua. And here, Indonesia, flash floods and earthquake kill at least 79. Indonesia sits on Pacific Ring of Fire and has frequent earthquakes. Though they started getting massive ones, that like the one in the fall that killed tens of thousands of people, or displaced, it affected tens of thousands of people, it killed thousands. They've been getting them, I think, all the fake god stuff and Naga stuff that's going on around there, and that attacks can be launched by sovereigns out of different places on different islands, and they're just attacking different people, specific America, like I'm being attacked. So I wanted to point out that 79 people died, but nobody cares as much about these people as much as they want to get rid of people's gun rights in other countries. I mean, actually, so that's why these narratives are put out there like that. In my opinion, you know, in my looking at this through the lens and eyes of wisdom, I think there's a strong narrative at the moment, and it's because people with a lot of money and give a nice view of the flower there. People with a lot of money want to assert their authority over reality and situations and stuff. Got some stickers here. Okay, let's go see what is going on with this Deer Park fire. And another point that I wanted to bring up is, as I'm being harassed by the police here, like, I'm being harassed by the Stephanie Joosten character that I brought up. And then the police, Detective Nick Vo, when I brought this up, instead of helping me, has used, I think, a gang within the police to harass and abuse my family and lie to the magistrate and cause problems and stuff. It's super problematic, and like, all it is causing more, it's like adding more fires to Houston when there don't need to be. I mean, there doesn't need to be a gang of blue police doing military style operations on the city. There doesn't need to be you know, these people enforcing over people's reality. Like, they don't even actually, I don't believe, have the constitutional authority to be doing some of these drug war things and stuff, where it's just so that they can hold a military presence for some other country, actually, over the United States. So when we come out of here, you can see, and they'll pretend, but you know, like Donald Trump, the Prince of Russia and Tubolsk and Meshech at the end of the Bible, Prince of Russia in Moscow, and you know, a whole bunch of rich oiled people and all sorts of stuff all around the world would spend a bunch of money to get Donald Trump into a position of authority where he would do stuff for them. I mean, that's really obvious. Look at these dark clouds. I believe that's from the Deer Park fire. And what I'm saying is, the police seem to start more problems like this, but the idea of firefighters is they go out and help, you know, deal with issues actually, and aren't enforcing over the community in ways which are problematic. But I think so. It's coming from there, and you can see how it's going. The smoke is rising, and this is a huge fire. This is I think it's a chemical fire, right? And so you can see how it's moving over downtown, or midtown, east downtown. Oh, the freeway even. It's really dark right there, you know, right there. You can see midtown. There's the Australian development, the Caden development. You can see the top of that from here. Smoke. Let's keep going. And get this place cleaned up here soon. Before I got my large amount of nano, my like $800,000 worth of cryptocurrency nano stolen, which is all trackable, right? I wanted to buy some, I mean, I still do, but I had enough money to buy all of these lots actually, but at least that lot, and then I could fix up my grandma's house and wouldn't have to be living in nursing home. Everything would be better. There wouldn't be a dark cloud over my life symbolically as well, I don't believe. But, but you know, I have faith that everything works out for the better. I have faith in God, specifically Yah. Because again, as I'm saying, Donald Trump and the Prince of Russia and Tubolsk and Meshech, they're using gods, other gods besides Yah, besides Jesus' Father, besides Jehovah, to get into America and cause problems and harass away people's rights. And again, they're using the police, which the firefighters are putting out these, maybe they're using firefighters too, but I don't think so. They're using the police because they have that kind of arresting authority and stuff. You can see, we can see, and again, the firefighters are worked to put this stuff out. You can see this like dark streak over all of the city, basically. Like, I don't want to be laughing at this, but it's just like so impressively large of a thing. And this is kind of what I'm saying. I don't think the police realize as they're doing this to me, it looks more than this on like the version of reality. Like, firefighters deal with stuff like this, like what the police have done. Yeah, and what the police have done is more so like in Oklahoma, they've released an entire some police officers in a city did a raid wrong, and they basically terrorized a family. Like, they acted like terrorists on a family for no reason. And I believe that Detective Nick Vo and his gang of the Nicolations are actively going to be ejected from Houston in the most disgraceful manner possible. In fact, from America, from the planet, because they've attacked my family in an abusive and illegal way, and they're participating in a rape operation with this Stephanie Yosten character, because it's a bunch of people with money trying to steal away my rights and everybody's rights. And, you know, I'm trying to explain here, the firefighters are necessary, but these rapist police officers, they're not necessary. These harassing and abusive police officers who've been bought off by foreign entities and everything can be tracked. In the least, they're being socially swayed by foreign entities, which is illegal still. So on the other hand, the American sovereign here, Matthew Ray Wilkins, is swaying domestic entities to work in America's interest. Do you see how this goes in different ways? Where like one police officer can destroy the context of what America is, where one police officer and his gang of corrupt police officers, whereas one sovereign standing up, it's law versus gospel. They're the law, I'm the gospel, but I have the power of the law because I'm actually, you know, IA. And these corrupt police officers are going to be dealt with. This is how you deal with a gang of corrupt police officers. Like, this whole thing was under watch anyway, and they never had the authority to do this. So, as I'm explaining how in this city, you can see the stuff that the firefighters are working on to deal with, right? Hopefully nobody put this on purpose. It's a big chemical fire, and so it's a lot to deal with, right? And I'm trying to get over the fact that, you know, I woke up this morning, I literally even could show the video before this of when I walked out here and was like looking at the clouds, and I was like, wow, those are dark storm clouds, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think, like, because yesterday it didn't look like this on the camera. I didn't think that it would have been this intense. And that's one of the other things. It's like all this money, all the resources can only go to one thing. And at the moment, even the firefighters and police are fighting over moneyed resources, and it doesn't seem as if the mayor, who's not acting properly in this city anyway, Sylvester Turner, has acted consistently illegally and has allowed a gang of abusive terrorists into the city. Mohammed bin Salman also is spending a bunch of money on this person in order to sway his mind, as are a number of people. And people are trying to threaten me because I'm vocal about how wrong this is, but I could give zero cares, sir. I could put that in a way more explicit way, but it's problematic that these people are acting like this. We'd have so much crypto money, we'd have so much money in this city that would be the end of it. Mecca, by the way, is a fake religion way that the House of Saud steals a bunch of money from Arabs. So congrats. You let that criminal in this city, and have been padding his lifestyle and allowing him more authority than the actual sovereign here, that they're trying to destroy my life and my family out of here. And you have all these celebrities like Bella Hadid. If my Instagram wasn't illegally taken down in a way to take away the fact that it was so obvious, I mean, it would be too obvious for them to deny. And so my whole point with this is, instead of giving firefighters enough money to put out fires, they want to give police more money so that they can do dumbass military operations here in Houston, Texas, when there's already a better system set up to deal with this stuff. There doesn't need to be a drug war. The war on cannabis that they keep doing is hurting everybody. Someone literally died. Like the guy, they put me on false charges because I've talked about Nick Vo on a video. They put me on felony retaliation charges. And when I was in there in the probable cause hearing, there was a murder case, and the murder case was two dudes killed someone because, like, they wanted marijuana. I mean, it could have been anything. They could have just been going to get drinks and they could have shot this dude in the head or been whatever. But it's like this drug that is illegal, and because the mayor and these people don't want to engage the reality of cannabis is less harmful than alcohol and a number of other legal substances, you're abusing everybody. In fact, it is patented for being medicinal, and 30 states see it as such. Only a gang of abusive old men and women who are hurting away everybody's rights are keeping it illegal. And Sylvester Turner, you better act on this. You're hurting people in the city. Someone died because of you. You are a terrible mayor. Absolutely, you're a bad person. Every day the firefighters don't have enough money, so they could have drones to have already dealt with this shit. But instead, again, a gang of police officers, like when I went to the jail, there are too many police officers doing not enough for this city for no reason. There's no reason there needs to be a jail like that. There's no reason there needs to be as many people going to jail. Isn't the point to rehabilitate and help people? That's not even their fucking concern. Like, this is so problematic that it's still going like this in a robotic fashion. It's hurting everybody. every day. I mean, literally, the city's on fire. The city's literally on fire. You can see it from space. You can see over the whole city. So, downtown. I mean, you saw in those pictures all the way to uptown. You can see that building right there where it says Williams Temple over that building, or like the sign and then it says Williams Temple. That sign that says Williams Temple and then the building, the Hanover Montrose. So you can see it over Montrose. You can see it over, like, you could see it from the other side of the city. The whole city's on fire. This is directly fixable immediately. And instead of having the resources in the city set up properly, Sylvester Turner and these people who are abusing away my rights for no reason, it's hurting everybody. You're making an example which is wrong. You're just wrong on this and you're hurting everybody. It's really obvious when the planet is shaking, when there's an ancient book that says IA comes and arrests these rapist police officers. Nick Vo, who is a rapist, bad, evil person who is going to suffer judicially for his illegal, abusive actions here in Houston, Texas. In the real world, the judgeship here has acted illegally. That's why at the end, the word of God is a righteous judge. They are even in trouble. Absolutely. Judge Shannon Baldwin, you have acted illegally. You're still acting illegally. I believe she's been paid off, if not being threatened by those police officers. This is done. Because honestly, I don't want to burn down. And the firefighters are probably tired of this shit too, unless they've been tricked into attacking me as well. But I think that there's all sorts of people in this city who are tired of this shit and want a better reality, and it's being directly held down by Nick Vo, Judge Shannon Baldwin. I believe Greg Abbott is watching, because when the state of Texas asked for a felony on me, it had to go through some kind of higher system, so some sort of higher judgeship, maybe the Supreme Court of Texas, which is acting illegally. This whole situation in every authority, vested authority, so including the United Nations and Donald Trump, because I know that this is some sort of public event where they're cutting off my digital rights. They're affecting my rights in a number of ways. They've attacked me with Stephanie Ostin. They're allowing it to happen. This is abuse. I'm being tortured, and my city's on fire. Yostown is on fire. You can see it from Deer Park is on fire. But, you know, it's part of Yostown, I believe, the whole greater metropolitan area. But you can see, it seems that the whole city's on fire. And then, as I've been talking and explaining this should make more sense of this, as to what's going on in my reality. I mean, they even have an ankle monitor on me, by the way, which I'm broadcasting my life 24/7. This was just a demeaning, psychologically abusive, harassing rape tactic to continue to rape down my life while I'm being abused by gangs of men and women. I mean, Judge Baldwin, I don't know how that woman could look me in the eye. That was so disgraceful and abusive that she's still doing this. She is an abusive rapist of a woman. That's just what God and history says about you. It doesn't matter what she says about herself. And she can put more abusive, demeaning, psychologically rapist things on my reality, but it's just representative of her and Nick Vo, who's a rapist police officer, and the rapist Houston Police Department, which I think is going to be disbanded over these actions. I think we're going to come, I mean, I think there's already a better way to do all this stuff and to secure the city and have a better reality where more people are funded. Part of it is don't keep people in socioeconomic problems. There's more than enough money, but the oil money in this city is being spent to rape, attack my reality, and like crucify me. Actually. So, there you go. City's on fire. And, you know, I believe even what I'm saying is the cause. You can see a number of things could be fixed. Sylvester Turner is doing, I mean, he's hurting the city. He's hurting people. And again, this was, all of this could have been avoided if Joel Macaluso, a Rice graduate, and the number of Rice graduates who are participating in this attack on my reality, like Denver Green and Emmy Chang and Elias Hoban, Coleman Tucker, anybody who's staying silent. As I've said, the woman who hit me with the car was liable for hitting me with the car when it was an accident, but these people specifically hit me in order to incur some kind of psychological trauma and pain, and there's no liability concern because they're trying to skip laws. They're trying to, like, bypass laws. They're trying to maintain as little legal liability on situations as possible, and they're using tactics to do so, and it's abusing away mine and everybody's reality. And every day that it's allowed, the authority figures are the ones to blame. At the end of the Bible, those authority figures are flung out of power and run to the hills and hide under mountains screaming, "Help us, hide us from the anger of the one who sits on the throne." So, I mean, my life is being abused away from me, and they're playing games. Like, no kid, no young boy would want to grow up in a reality where a bunch of women are abusing away his reality and making fun of him and abusing away his life. No young girl would want to grow up in that. And all these all these older women are trying to pretend as if that's what they're protecting these young girls from. But all they're doing is doing that to me and getting a whole gang of young girls amped up to do it from their childhood. And it's like, no young girl would want that. You're breeding generations of rapists and abusers. That's what this society is. I mean, that's how the Bible ends, and that's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah is... Sodomy, again, isn't butt sex. Sodomy is abuse. And they wanted to abuse and rape the people, and that's what's going on with this situation. These people are not getting me in the way they want to, and so they're abusing me at my psychology in any way possible. And I mean, they created a fake woman to do so. So, as you can see, the city's on fire. One of the things is you can blame this woman in this situation, and this person here in the Netherlands. This is all linked together too. Like when the police are pretending like it's not, every day they pretend it's not. This is why they would be judicially dealt with in a very powerful way, because it's really obvious. I mean, I can show how they're liable from this point, and I'm doing it on a GoPro, and this video is history. Like, this video is history. This is the thing that actually has weight, not some random thing done in the dark that doesn't hold any meaning to it, that a whole bunch of people are, that like a collective of people saying they're an authority who've stolen away legal authority in an illegal fashion because they're using it already illegally, and they're not remedying that. There's no remedy for this illegally other than doing what I'm doing. I mean, legally, than doing what I'm doing. And there's no remedy for this. There's no way that I fix these problems. So that's why I'm doing this like this. All right, and you can see it's still going, and I believe it's still going to keep going. Oh, I just want to see this last thing. This is the Museum of Fine Arts Houston construction web camera, and it does panoramic views. Like, it'll grab a panoramic view every day at around, I guess around 11, huh? And we'll see whether it looks up and grabs. It might just look back down at this building, because that's what it typically does at the end of its thing. But if it looks back up at the... Okay, yeah, I think it might end here. All right, if it had looked back up, we could have seen a really good view of what was going on. In fact, maybe while I was holding this up, that's what was missed, and I was just talking. Oh well. Next time. They need to give me control over some of these cameras. Let me put up my own. Actually, I mean, why didn't this city do this already? Like, how is this so problematic? It's 2019, everything feels so disconnected, actually. Like, I have one fiber choice here in 3rd Ward, even though I'm between the medical center, downtown, U of H, TSU, Rice, East Downtown. Like, I'm literally between all of things in Houston that would be connected and hyper-connected. The city needs to immediately work with me. The people in the city who are in leadership authority immediately need to work with me, drop the abusive things which would get them in trouble moving forward. I mean, actually, and immediately work with me to better the city, to increase connectivity, to increase cryptocurrency, to... I'm getting a call from somewhere. All right, I'm going to end this here. To increase all these things. So, all right, have a blessed day. I'm going to answer this call. That's it. That's Deer Park fire coverage. Yeah, have a blessed day. Yeah.